What's up everybody, it is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another MX ATV track review. And today we're going to do a nice little track called Elevate MX Park, I think is what it's called. And we're going to do 3 laps because the first lap doesn't count on it, and it's by Beeeazeeeolly. It's basically like this really long name with like 6 E's, couple A's, and a Z somewhere in there. But anyway, yeah, you could, download this track in the description and watch me play it with my orange face and the cameraman walking through the grass, good stuff. Alright, but on the real, this track is actually pretty fun so far of what I've played of it. I only did a few laps just to try to get familiarized with it so that I don't look like a complete goon like I am right here, just running over these Oakley Tough blocks. But it's the thing about it that is really unique is how challenging it is with the speeds on this track. And what I mean by that is he even says that this track is designed to kind of slow you down and have more realistic feel to it, I guess. In some places, in some parts of the track, it's just like WFO, crazy stuff like that. But he tried to add different resistant texture files and things like that to slow you down. Like these split sections and whatnot are just really tight, and so therefore it's kind of a hard track to play, and it even says that in the description that it's not going to be easy. There are fast sections kind of like the one I'm in right here, but because of it just goes from really fast to really tight in a lot of the places, it's definitely not the easiest track to play, but it still is really fun, and that's why I wanted to do a review on it. So I'm going to do basically 4 laps, like I said, because the first lap doesn't count. And what I discovered last week in my first ever Reflex track review video is that the creator of the track has to set whether or not the laps count on the first lap. And I guess that even though the finish line is right near the end on this track, Beeeazeeeolly didn't want that lap to count. So whatevs. We're going to cut it a little bit short because we did 6 laps on Alvaretta, and this week we're going to basically do 4 laps on Elevate MX Park. But I was kind of stoked to do a track like this because the last track review that I did, which was Alvaretta, was really fast. It was, you could almost kind of go wide open everywhere on the track. This one, look at even this section right here. If you go outside, you have to come to almost a complete stop to hit that ridge line and then turn, or else you go flinging into the next section. So that aspect of it's definitely kind of cool, and I wanted to try a little bit more of a realistic track, I guess, although some of these parts like this are a little over the top. And then, I don't know, I'm taking a break from studying right now. I'm right in the middle of finals week. And in fact, when this video comes out, when I do actually hit the release button on the video, will probably be right after I finish a final on Friday. So that should be fun, or it might be right before. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I'm pre-recording this by a couple days just so that I know I can get it done. Trying to keep up with content on the channel while I'm in the midst of finals week, and so I'm taking a little break from my studies right now. I even got my Intercultural Communication Com 475 book sitting right in front of me open, but I'm tired of studying, so I'm going to play some Reflex. So I'm going to try to change up the lines as much as I can. I'm definitely not as good of a Reflex player as Jeremy is, so I'm sorry that I'm probably not going to show off the absolute best way or even moderately a good way to play this track. I even did a Reflex race with a couple of the guys online for the Monster Cup this year for the, I think it's FFMX or some Monster Cup race, and I got destroyed. I got lapped 4 times, and I'm definitely not that good. Those guys are way better, so maybe I should have them making these videos. Wells. But anyway, I'm just going to try to show off the track the best that I can. And if that means riding like a slow goon and whipping when I can, then that's what you guys are going to see. Woo! Whippertails. Rup. I'm also kind of just getting used to the whip glitch. I know that pretty much everybody I know that plays this game knows how to do the whip glitch, but I was the last one to figure out how to do it, I guess. So we're getting there. But more on the track. just in general, I think because of the tight nature of some of the corners, and in my opinion, the way that he angled some of the corners, it lacks really good flow. It definitely flows, but like corners like this where it just like it comes over and you're just like in tires. I understand that he's trying to get you to slow down for it, but that one you have to come to such a complete stop that it's almost like kind of shitty. But like I don't know. Obviously, it is more realistic because you can't just come flinging into every corner and hope that it's gonna work. But it is a video game, so I guess I'm just kind of saying that it doesn't need to be that realistic. But it is fun. It is a fun track for sure. This is the finish line right here, and it's gonna give me the white flag, although it's not the white flag. But it's that double right as you go over that under that little bridge. I don't know if I've ever taken that line. I don't like going inside in this corner here because you get a shit drive through these bumps. And if you go outside, you can just rip right through them. But I just say that like flow-wise, it's kind of tough. Like these ruts are just like they like look like they're gonna curve you into a good place, and then they just disappear and make really sharp turns. Which I don't know. It's not the worst, but could have been done just a little bit better. I think this is one of his first tracks or something like that because he talks about someone helping him out getting through this process. So if it's his first track, which I mean I don't know if it is or not, but if it is, this is a great first track in my opinion. If it isn't, obviously there's a couple things that you can improve on, just in my opinion. But flow-wise, looks pretty. You know, it rides well. Doesn't ride awful or anything. And then environment-wise, it's pretty good actually. I think that it's really unique. Some of the jumps over bins like that, and I think that he has the decals in the right place for the most part. There's a few spots where I think there's a good chance that like if you were to have a race on this track, people would land on like a grassy section, which doesn't necessarily need to be there, I guess. Like you could make it just dirt and it wouldn't really detract from the visualness of it at all. I think he was trying to go for like a couple sections where you're jumping over these like grassy areas with grass statue files and stuff like that. But there are a couple spots where I've come up short numerous times in grass, and I'm like, hey, this isn't part of the track. But like this is what I mean, like you're jumping over grass and then you're jumping over a lake or like a river, and then here I always seem to hit the grass right here, and then I think he means for you to like land down in here and then swoop around and then clear this whole thing. But again, this is the third time I've clipped the grass there, so just a few things that I'm trying to point out, not necessarily saying like it's shit, start over from scratch kind of thing. But I like it. I would give it like a maybe good 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, trying to be honest. It's not a perfect 10 out of 10 track. Like so many of the other tracks, or not so many of the other, but some of the other tracks that I've played in this game, which I would rate perfect 10 out of 10. But it is very good indeed, and I would play it again. So 8 out of 10 would play again. And that section I just went through right there is an example of where he changed the terrain. I don't know what you call it in Reflex, but in Sim you would call it textures, or not textures, but tile info, which tells you how much resistance the ground has. And so he's got a couple sand sections on here. I know obviously there's like a water feature. I'm sure that the like mud in there is different. And then the rest is just like this kind of loamy, what I would consider to be like northwestern dirt, northwestern United States, like a Washougal type dirt. So overall, it's pretty good, pretty fun. And I applaud you for making a track in which I wanted to take a study break from. But I will also tell you that if I fail my intercultural communication final, I will and can blame it on you. I'm just kidding. I'd never go to my teacher and be like, so yeah, I failed your final because I was playing a video game. Could I have a redo? She'd be like, no. Okay. I like this jump right here too because it's got this like kicker on it. Just feels fun. I don't really have much more to add to that other than it definitely feels kind of fun. I feel like maybe the terrain deformation is a bit much on this track too because I've already kind of created these hole type ruts in some of these corners. In some places it seems alright, but in that one corner with that rut, it just kind of digs in pretty hard. And maybe if you had a little bit harsher dirt, then the ruts wouldn't dig down as deep. Just saying. I'm not saying I know how to build reflex tracks because I don't. I'm just offering my honest critique of your track, good sir. So anyway, that would be Elevate MX by Beeeazeeeolly on MX vs ATV Reflex. I'm Kellen for Start Your Systems. If you like this video, bung it with a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And any comments that you have, we would be happy to answer them. So this has been another MX vs ATV Reflex track review on Start Your Systems. We'll catch you guys later.